To remain updated with the latest business news, click on the bell icon.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and today we're going to do a deep dive into the world of NFTs. I have a very special guest joining in right here with me is Mr. Ankit Wadhwa. He's the CEO and co-founder of Rario, which is a sports and specifically cricket NFT platform as well. So welcome to the show and help us understand first of all, what exactly do you do with these sports and cricket NFTs? How do we really understand it, the common people who still are very, very new to this NFT platform?
And there are close to 250 crore cricket fans globally.
Yeah.
Many of them are in India, but there are as many outside India as well.
Yeah.
And so far, the only ways they've been able to connect with the sport is by watching it on television.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes you get a chance to go and see it in the stadium as well.
Yes.
With NFTs, fandom is being democratized to these crores and crores of people. You can now connect with the sport, with moments of the sport by owning some of them, by owning artifacts of your favorite cricket stars, which are limited in quantity. Imagine if someone like Virender Sehwag came out with 50 select NFTs.
Okay.
He has, if I remember correctly, around 22 million fans and followers on Twitter.
Yeah, okay.
And there are only 50 NFTs that he comes out with.
Okay.
Would those fans not be excited to own that one part of their hero's legacy in a way?
Absolutely.
Right? And that's what makes it exciting. Cricket as a sport has not yet seen those dimensions. If you start looking westwards, I mean, many sports have collectibles, memorabilia, which is already a very big market. That has not yet happened in cricket. And we believe, like everything else that in this geography, digital will revolutionize things which probably have happened in other parts of the world 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I think the whole idea of connecting better with the sport happens from here on cricket
Absolutely,
with us.
but I think, two industries, entertainment and sports, these are the two front runners of getting into NFTs. So why this obsession with NFTs for these two industries particularly?
So I think whenever a new technology kicks off, there are sectors which are closest to a digital revolution that would always see first entry points. I mean, when the internet became a mass phenomena, at that time also media was something that led massive adoption. I mean, we are looking at blockchain technologies, and we strongly believe this is like a third major revolution. I mean, what personal computing created in the 80s was redone by the internet in 2000s. We are in 2020s, and we are looking at something of a very similar scale in how things will change in the way we operate.
Absolutely, and you're right, because I really wanted you to help us and all our viewers really understand what is the technology behind these NFTs? How does one really understand what really goes behind?
So what I talked about, PCs, internet, blockchain. PCs democratized computing. There was a computer on every desk, and suddenly the way people operate has changed. Look at the number of entrepreneurs that were created. Microsoft, Apple, all these names came out of that revolution.
Sure.
Look further into the internet, and Amazons and Googles came out of that because information got democratized. We are in a revolution where trust, the ability to provide trust, is getting democratized. Blockchain is a layer that provides trust and authenticity. Now, an entrepreneur or a smaller business like ours can say, we are going to use this base technology and build a business which fundamentally revolves around trust. This was not available to us earlier. I mean, this was a domain of large corporations. Right? So now, therefore, what are we doing? We are creating collectibles around cricket. You did not buy collectibles from a startup before this. You are able to, because that trust is provided by the infrastructure that blockchain provides to us. And I think the field is not limited. It started with cricket, it started with sports and entertainment, but many other sectors which have a core focus on trust. Actually, every sector does. Some may have more and others may have less. Every business which revolves around trust will no longer remain the domain of the large and mighty. A lot of new entrepreneurs are going to come in. I hope this time from this part of the world, and we are not observers in that revolution like we were in the 2000s and the 80s, where we just saw what the West did and we adopted it. This time, hopefully, a lot of entrepreneurs like us will come up from this part of the world and say, this is how this democratization of trust created by the blockchain is going to revolutionize and create use cases for all of us to use.
Okay, so help us understand. So somebody goes to your platform. I want to, have some or own some collectibles from some of the sportsmen who you've already onboarded. How do I go about collecting these NFTs?
So we've onboarded upwards of 30 cricket celebrities, mega celebrities, Rishabh Pant, Virendra Sehwag, and many other names that we are yet to announce as well.
Okay, can you announce one now on the Business Today platform?
Very soon, very soon. So we are still in the process of making those announcements. But unfortunately, we haven't. These are bilateral agreements, so we have to wait for the other side to also announce along with us. But I mean, there is a lot of worry and scare around. Hey, do I need cryptocurrency to make some of these purchases?
Yes.
Is this legal?
Yes.
And what we are creating is an ecosystem which actually makes users comfortable. You can buy using traditional credit card, debit card payment methods.
Okay.
When you sell, money comes into your bank account.
Okay.
You don't need to, as a user on our platform, you can operate without touching crypto ever.
That's brilliant. That's something new that nobody understood, because the cryptocurrencies and NFT both went together, and people who were very scared of still using cryptocurrencies would have perhaps stayed away from using NFTs.
I think they do go together in terms of the core technology, but so do your emails and calendars. They're both on the internet.
Yes.
I mean, but they are two very different implementations of the same technology. NFTs and cryptocurrencies both get trust in the ownership from the blockchain that is there below it, right? But NFTs are more like assets and goods, whereas cryptocurrencies are more like the currencies that you see, your money, right? So if one is like the dollar bill or a rupee note, the other one is like your house.
Okay.
I think equating the two 1:1, because the technology is the same, is slightly unfair on both industries. And I think, and I understand we are in nascent days, so a lot of narratives are now building up. But as you see more use cases, as you see, collectibles have already exploded in the NFT space. What you will also see with us is now that you can buy NFTs of your favorite cricketers, you'll be able to build teams of those cricketers, play virtual tournaments versus other people who build teams. So if everybody in India or globally actually, amongst all cricket fans, had an opinion on who should be in the team and who should not, well, this is your chance of actually creating that team yourself and competing with your opponent. And I mean, of course, as you do that, there are going to be certain rewards associated with every victory. So you could practically run, the equivalent of a physical league in the blockchain world.
Okay, and what special things are you announcing with the IPL getting started very, very soon now?
So the IPL is getting announced very soon. We will be, there are a lot of announcements that are planned. There are related to, the backers who are going to be supporting us. There are fundraisers that are happening. And there are more than 15 cricketers which we are yet to announce where we've made our partnerships. I mean, what's interesting about our partnerships is they are also global. We probably are working with the top cricket celebrities of every country, both in men's cricket and women's cricket. And actually, that's also a very interesting dimension, because women's cricket is picking up in a big way. So while we may just be beginning to watch women's cricket the way we've watched men's cricket all along, but in the metaverse, you could buy NFTs of the women cricketers, build teams together, gender neutral teams, and then play one versus another. So a lot of opportunities also open up.
Absolutely. But what does, the regulation really play a part here in a country like ours, where, the policymakers are still discussing and debating as to what should be the regulatory framework for these virtual digital assets? We're already hearing about taxation coming through. There's talk about, how cryptocurrency should be brought under the ambit of GST as well, then a 1% TDS. So many debates happening around this. Do you think this has somehow negated or, prohibited some people who may have earlier wanted to get into this bandwagon but have not yet done that because of the taxation aspect?
I think it's, there's a lot of debate around regulation. And I think that debate has been triggered by the fact that, there was no digital form of money, and cryptocurrencies have triggered that debate. What it has done for NFTs as a sector is created a discussion around regulation way sooner than what the industry would have liked. And I'm not saying industry should not be regulated. There are laws that govern goods, that govern digital goods. How else do you buy your music online today? How else do you buy an image from a Shutterstock? There are regulations that do govern it. Are they fully there to handle NFTs, maybe not. Maybe there are tweaks required on the margins,
Okay.
and those can happen. But I think where the industry is right now on the NFT part of the ecosystem is a lot more nascent. So I would in fact say, like we were just talking about this outside as well, the 3 phases in which you would see any industry blossom, or how policymakers would look at it as incentivize, regulate, and tax.
Okay.
Right? We are right now probably in the first phase, and in the early days of the first phase.
Yes.
As far as I can see, I don't see major concerns not already being addressed with the regulations that exist.
Okay.
But yes, there is always a risk that if we regulate too soon, then the growth might get hampered.
Okay.
What's
the growth potential that you see for the NFT industry and in sports NFT, especially in India?
30% of any sport in the world is built around collectibles and memorabilia and various other non-media revenue streams.
Yeah.
So I think that's the base case for us in cricket. I think what we could create would be at least a 50% growth on the current money that is spun by cricket, which is also is huge, which is 33% of the total on that side.
Okay.
But the potential upside is significantly higher. You've already seen that, right, with the likes of cricket fantasy. The amount of money that has come into the field of cricket, how digital world has actually created excitement on the physical sport. I think that will only get amplified. What you see with fantasy is a lot of engagement during a match.
Yes.
What you will see with the NFTs around cricket will be engagement between matches.
Okay.
Right, and engagement in various other times when cricket fans really want to connect with their heroes, with their sport.
Absolutely. Since you talked about big money, we heard news about how Dream Capital you are in talks with to raise funds as well. Where are those talks reaching? And if you could give us any highlight of where have they reached now, and what is the
There are
outlook?
several conversations on fundraisers.
Yeah.
I would like to announce those as we do through our formal channels.
Okay.
But yes, there are always going to be, the sector is hot.
Yeah.
Because the entire investor ecosystem realizes the potential of a disruption of the scale of the internet, of the scale of personal computing.
Yeah.
So I think we've been blessed in that way that the financial markets have supported our vision very aggressively. But in terms of specific announcements, you will hear from them, from us.
What about listing any of those plans on your mind that you would want to launch as a startup channel onto the stock markets? We've seen a flurry of them already entering the stock markets, so that you can also explore that channel as well.
I think that is the goal of every company, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to provide liquidity to your investors by taking your company public.
Yeah.
We are still, as I said, in very early days. The ecosystem is evolving. You will see a flurry of IPOs or equivalents when the time is right. But I think we are in that early phase where the companies need to build ideas, create this new ecosystem, and then you will. It's like Facebook didn't list in 2000; they did not exist in 2000.
Absolutely, not at all.
So,
thank you so much, Mr. Wadhwa, for speaking with us and sharing with us all the insights into the world of NFT and what can we really look forward to from the sporting world and cricket world going forward from here. We hope to see many more announcements on Business Today from you on a whole lot of matters that we discussed today, and we hope to have you again very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.